My name's Brandon Kumar. I'm a director of short films of the digital medium. I make soundtracks for my films and I act in them myself. I've been filmmaking since grade 6, and I used to set up friends and do lots of films, even back then when I had an old VHS camera kind of thing that would film those things. And after that I stopped filming for years and years, and then when I started up again I was so worried, like, I don't have any people that actually want to film with me, so then I made the decision I'm just going to film myself. What I did, and you're going to have to use this, what I did was I started filming last year in April or May, doesn't matter which month it was. It went from doing no effects at all, a one-man show where there was one actor, one director, one editor, and then I would release it on my YouTube channel. It was half improv, half camera art, and I would do random things. Kicking trees, and I was throwing things in front of the camera and slamming things all over the place. It served a comedic purpose, but really it was improvised jokes that meant nothing. I didn't like making them because I didn't have any friends to make them with. That's what you need. And then when I made the leap to cloning myself, I started making films where it's me and myself, but it seems like me and another person. I would do dialogue scenes between two clones. The two agents that were sent to the shed. You killed them both. I would do scenes where one clone killed another. I would do all those things. Now I can composite anything onto this frame, and it's really based on how far my mind is willing to go. And after months and months of you sit alone in your room for years, what seems like years, months, where you're sitting alone and you're not necessarily thinking about film, but you're thinking creatively throughout the entire time. You feel the need to isolate yourself and become less, or more diverted from society, or you feel like you're better off alone to do your deeds and be able to write your script or be able to compose your music. It's made me insane. It's made me nuts. I'm a nutcase. I'd walk away if I were you. No, it's made me good. It's made me a more honest human being, but at the expense of kind of like a social life. I feel like a lot of filmmakers are distant by nature. Also, when you actually get into it, it encourages you to separate and kind of look into yourself in order to influence the art. But also, I'm specifically more cut off from society, and I'm a lot less interested than in society itself. I'm antisocial. You have to be able to put on that mask for when you're actually doing it. My motives of filmmaking changed, where it wasn't even about saying I'm a good filmmaker and trying to evolve in front of an audience. Being a slightly more unpopular person in high school, you kind of you make the films as a slight revenge, where you're like, look at me, man, now I'm pretty cool, now I'm pretty interesting. Well, anybody that slighted me in junior high or high school, they're thinking, they're probably watching this and thinking, I wish I would have filmed that with them, instead of joking around about them, Hey, I wish I would have considered, hey, this person's creative, this person wants to make something cool, and this person's actually pretty impressive. He's smarter than I thought he was. It's just one of those aspects that kind of redeems you by doing these films. And then once you're really good, once you're like beyond good, you're kind of even beyond that point where it's about And then it becomes like a competition with yourself, where you're saying, am I able to be better than I was the last time I made the film? I'm just very serious about it, but I'm also just kind of laying low while I can.